Once again, would like to lead off today's video by saying a big thank you to everyone who has joined us over at the Florida Maquis Patreon channel. It's only $1 per month. What do you get? Psychological operations training, military level. If you want to know what they're doing, how they're doing it, why they're doing it, and what their goals are, join us over there. It's even less than $1 per month if you sign up for an entire year. We are able to use Vimeo to take the gloves off, so to speak, and talk like adults. It's different than Google. It's a different server. So they don't allow just everything, but they're quite a bit more reasonable. And you can speak openly. Would love to have you there. Believe me, we have all sorts of information that people are going to need. It's going to be critical going forward because events are starting to happen at a much faster pace now. What everybody's talking about today, states certain or likely to ban abortion if Roe v. Wade is overturned, which seems very likely now. Would this not be democracy? Should there not be a vote on this? You see, they hate this not so much because of the result, but because it highlights once again states' rights, that all of the power lies at the state level. Look at all of the states that even the left admits, if it went to a vote, a Democratic vote, would vote to ban the practice. It's almost half the country. Now, jumping in the Wayback Machine for just a minute here, going back to over a year ago. This was actually late 2020. Florida Maquis put up a poll over at the Communities tab. 6,000 people responded. And I laid out 5 different options, asking if you had to choose one of these 5, which would you choose? 48% of the respondents would have chosen mandatory vaccinations for the entire country if Donald Trump could remain as president, but only 6% of the respondents would have said overturn Roe v. Wade, 4 years of Kamala Harris. Think about that for just a second. This middle option right here, this third option, is very likely going to be the reality. What 6% of the respondents said would be the choice. Choice 2 is Joe Biden remaining president in 2021. However, vaccines remain optional, only 12%. Few more people chose Mike Pence as president, but free universal health care. And then the last one, 11%, all 4 resign. All 4 of them step down. Nancy Pelosi becomes president for 1 term, but everybody in the country gets $2,000 a month for a year. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. This is PsyOps 101. That the reality, the middle choice here that's very likely going to occur, was the least chosen. Would you like to learn how to actually think instead of just feel your way through life believing that you're thinking? Join us. We would love to have you. Now, also something else that I had predicted a long time ago, I would like to just do a very quick update on. 14 December of this year, of last year, I counsel people get out quickly of cryptocurrency, all of it. It's going to crash. That was 14 December. That's right here. It went up for a little bit, and then it absolutely hit the floor. Then here, they hired Matt Damon and Tom Brady to do TV commercials during the Super Bowl and prior to it, and so it got a bounce. And then it crashed again. They've tried to pump money into it. It tried to bounce, and now they're saying it's probably never going to see 40,000 again. If you had listened and said, you know what, Florida Maquis has been right about some things before, I think I'm going to get out of this now, you would be 40% richer. Your bank account would be 40% higher. Your foodstuffs, whatever you have planned for shit hits the fan, you'd have 40% more of it. It's going away. and they're not even mincing words about it right now. This is crypto, and this is Forbes, crypto and blockchain. Bitcoin and crypto now braced for a $9 trillion Fed earthquake as the price of Ethereum, BNB, Solana, Cardano, XRP, Terra Luna, and Avalanche, all this is cratering. And it's never coming back. They're not going to allow it. Too much money got siphoned out. They're not going to allow this. They're never going to allow it to rise to the level it was before. This is Marca.com, cryptocurrency with prices crashing. What to expect this week? See, this is something that requires thought, not just an emotional attachment, because somebody you know, or Bob's friend from work who had a cousin who knew some guy made a bunch of money on a Ponzi scheme. You've got to think about this stuff critically. Now, on a happier note, a regular viewer of mine, Tim Bassett, talked about before, shared a link of his last night, put up a great video talking about his all-day pain-free energy nutrient mix. And it's a 15-minute video where he walks you through everything he puts in it, why he does it. He explains all of the ingredients and what they do. Excellent video. His channel seems to be growing. He's up to 56 subs. This video had 265 views last time I looked at it. He talks about a drink that he takes all this stuff and he mixes it with his electrolyte mix. And where you can find that is over at Tim Bassett's Instagram channel. He shows you what to put in the water and the salts and the vitamins and all that. So follow him both places. Definitely worth a listen. Definitely worth a view. Really great, fantastic information from somebody who lives the life, walks the walk. 63 years old and is in better shape than most guys half his age. That's him throwing some zinc in there. He's got some vitamin C. He's got some salt, different things. And then, of course, that's the water mixture. And then back over here, he has the powdered mixture where it's protein powder and some protein, other things. It's really great stuff. So just wanted to share that. Way to go, Tim. Fantastic job. Now, Antarctica. The Holy Grail, deep beneath the ice. In this CNET article, they admit something for the first time that should make everyone wake up about what they're really hiding. What they're really hiding is that they don't know. And the methodology that they're using to make assumptions is fatally flawed. And I'm not going to waste your time reading this whole article, but it talks about this guy going down there trying to drill a core to determine what happened a million years ago. Now, he complains about all the setbacks and the problems and all of the difficulty of working in Antarctica, trying to drill this giant 5-inch ice core down through miles and miles and miles of ice, saying how it's somehow a voyage through time, that we can look back and see what the climate was so that we can continue to waggle our pretentious little fingers at people for driving their SUVs. Basically, that's the idea here. But they have a problem. They have a problem because they have to admit something. They don't know whether what they're bringing up is accurate or not. And I'll start here. Scientists run into 3 problems. The first is that there's only a limited time to drill each year. Well, that's not that big of a deal. They only drill in the summertime, November to February. But wait until you hear the next problem. Let me zoom this in. The second problem is that when you get far enough down in the ice, natural heat emanating from below the surface of the Earth disturbs the bottom of the ice. The million-year record that lurks deep beneath the surface of ice can literally melt away, and could have been melting away and refreezing and melting away and refreezing over thousands of years. You can't assume that every level you see down there is accurate. The third is the movement of the ice sheets. The frozen masses are slowly moving off Little Dome Sea, and as ice jostles together, it can fold up on itself. The timeline trapped in the ice cores then becomes jumbled and out of order. If you think of the ice sheet like a diary, it would be like finding dates from August dropped in the middle of December, or dates from 5,000 years ago dropped with dates from 500 years ago. They literally admit this. Not just once, but twice. They talk about this. Of course, they bury this way down in the bottom of the article here about these challenges that they face that they cannot overcome. Let me see if I can find the... Yeah, this is what they do. They drill this 5-inch core, and then they take slices of it, and they assume that a certain distance down represents a certain amount of time ago. And then they analyze the air trapped in the little ice bubbles. And then they assume that they know what life was like back then, or what was going on, when none of this could be accurate. And they even admit this. 2 million year ice core, just absolutely insane. Just how far back could we go with a continuous core? Short answer is we don't know, says Pedro. Theoretically, older ice might exist closer to the base of the ice sheet, but there are some constraints. The ice at the lowest depths is compressed and highly thinned, so it's much harder to resolve different layers and time periods. There might be a whole jigsaw down there, but the pieces have been folded in on themselves, so you don't have any idea. You don't have any idea whether any of it's accurate or not. And they admit it twice in this CNET article, talking about the Holy Grail. This ice core that is meaningless. So, I just wanted to share that. Later on today, we're going to be doing another video regarding Antarctica, so as not to make this one too long, that reveals something about some experimental aircraft that they've been using down there, and how we might have caught an image of one on the ice. So stay tuned for that. But once again, join us over at Patreon. The next 6 months, the left is not just going to sit there. They're not going to just give up. They've given up in Florida. But believe me, they still have control over a lot of these platforms. I could really use your support. It would make a great deal of difference in my life. It could change the direction of the channel and what we're able to do. Just one US dollar per month, fully refundable, first 90 days. God bless everyone. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.